Yet better thus, and known to be contemned than still contemned and flattered. But who comes here? My father, poorly led. World, world, oh world!
Oh, my good lord.
Away, get thee away, good friend, be gone. Thy comforts can do me no good at all. Thee they may hurt.
You cannot see your way.
I have no way, and therefore want no eyes. I stumbled when I saw. Oh, dear son, Edgar, the food of thy abused father's wrath. Might I but see thee in my touch, I'd say I have eyes again.
How now? Who's there?
Oh, who is it can say I am at the worst? I am worse than e'er I was.
'Tis poor mad Tom.
And worse I may be yet. The worst is not so long as we can say this is the worst.
Fellow, where goest?
Is it a beggarman?
Madman and beggar too.
Well, he has some reason, else he could not beg. In the last night's storm I such a fellow saw, which made me think a man a worm. My son came then into my mind, and yet my mind was then scarce friends with him. I have heard worse since. As flies to wanton boys are we to the gods. They kill us for their sport.
How should this be? Bad is the trade that must play fool to sorrow, angering itself and others. Bless thee, master!
Is that the naked fellow?
Aye, my lord.
Then prithee, get thee gone, and bring some covering for this naked soul, which I'll entreat to lead me.
Alack, sir, he is mad.
Oh, 'tis the time's peace when madmen lead the blind. Do as I bidst, or rather do at thy pleasure. Above the rest, be gone.
I'll bring him the best peril that I have, come on't what will.
Sirrah? Naked fellow.
Poor Tom's cold. I cannot daub it further.
Come hither, fellow.
And yet I must. Bless thy sweet eyes. They bleed.
Knowest thou the way to Dover?
Both stile and gate, horseway and footpath, poor Tom hath been scared out of his good wits. Bless thee, good man's son, from the foul fiend. 5 fiends have been in poor Tom at once, of lust, of murder. Therefore bless thee, master.
Take this purse. That I am wretched makes thee the happier. Heaven deal so still. Let the superfluous and lust-dieted man that slaves your ordinance, that will not see because he does not feel thy power quickly. Dost thou know Dover?
Aye, master.
Oh, there is a cliff whose high and bending head looks fearfully in the confined deep. Bring me but to the very brim of it, and I'll repair the misery thou dost bear with something rich about me. From that place I shall no leading need.
Give me thy arm. Poor Tom shall lead thee.
Welcome, my lord. I marvel our mild husband not met us on the way. Now, where's your master?
Madam within, but never man so changed. I told him of the army that was landed. He smiled at it. I told him you were coming. His answer was the worse. Of Gloucester's treachery and of the loyal service of his son, when I informed him, then he called me sot and told me I had turned the wrong side out.
Then shall you go no further. It is the cowish terror of his spirit that dares not undertake. He'll not feel wrongs which tie him to an answer. Back, Edmund, to my brother. Hasten his musters and conduct his powers. I must change arms at home and give the distaff into my husband's hands. This trusty servant shall pass between us. Ere long you are like to hear, if you dare venture in your own behalf, a mistress's commands.
Wear this.
Spare speech. Decline your head. Conceive, and fare thee well.
Yours, in the ranks of death.
My most dear Gloucester. Oh, the difference of man and man.
Madam, here comes my lord.
I have been worth the whistle.
Goneril, you are not worth the dust which the rude wind blows in your face.
No more, the text is foolish.
What have you done? Tigers, not daughters, what have you performed? If that the heavens do not their visible spirits send quickly down to tame these vile offenses, it will come. Humanity must perforce prey on itself like monsters of the deep.
Milk-livered man, that bearest a cheek for blows, a head for wrongs. Where's thy drum? France spreads his banners in our noiseless land. With plumed helm thy state begins to threat, whilst thou, a moral fool, sits still and cries, alack, why does he so?
See thyself, devil.
O vain fool.
Thou changed and self-covered thing, for shame bemonster not thy feature. Where's my fitness to let these hands obey my blood? They were apt enough to dislocate and tear thy flesh and bones.
Marry your manhood.
What news?
Oh, my good lord. The Duke of Cornwall is dead, slain by his servant going to put out the other eye of Gloucester.
Gloucester's eyes?
A servant that he bred, thrilled with remorse, opposed against the act, bending his sword to his great master,
Who thereat enraged flew on him, and amongst them felled him dead.
but not without that harmful stroke which since hath plucked him after.
This shows you are above, you justicers, that these our nether crimes so speedily can venge. But oh, poor Gloucester, lost he his other eye.
Both, my lord. This letter, madam, craves a speedy answer.
'Tis from your sister.
One way I like this well, but being widow and my Gloucester with her. Another way. The news is not so tart. I'll read and answer.
Where was his son when they did take his eyes?
Come with my lady hither.
He is not here.
No, my good lord, I met him back again.
Knows he the wickedness?
Aye, my good lord.
'Twas he informed against him, and quit the house on purpose that their punishment might have the freer course.
Gloucester, I live to thank thee for the love thou showedst the king, and to avenge thine eyes. Come hither, friends. Tell me what more thou knowest.
Why the King of France is so suddenly gone back? Know you no reason?
Something he left imperfect in the state. His personal return was most required and necessary.
Did your letters pierce the Queen to any demonstration of grief?
Aye, sir.
Oh, then it moved her?
Not to a rage.
Made she no verbal question?
Faith, once or twice she cried the name of father pantingly forth, as if it pressed her heart. Cried, sisters, shame of ladies, sisters, sisters. Then away she started to deal with her grief alone.
It is the stars. Stars above us govern our conditions. Spoke you not with her since?
No.
Well, sir, the poor distressed Lear is at the town. By no means will yield to see his daughter.
Why, good sir?
A sovereign shame so elbows him. His own unkindness that stripped from her his benediction. These things sting his mind so venomously that burning shame detains him from Cordelia.
Alack, poor gentleman.
Of Albany and Cornwall's powers, heard you not?
'Tis so, they are afoot.
Well, sir, I'll bring you to our master Lear and leave you to attend him. Some dear cause will in concealment wrap me up a while. I pray you go along with me.
Alack, 'tis he! Oh, he was net even now, as mad as the vexed sea, crowned with rank fumiter and furrow weeds. I'll search every acre in the high-grown field and bring him to our eye. What can man's wisdom in the restoring his bereaved sense? Oh, him that helps him take all my outward worth.
There is means, madam. Our foster nurse of nature is repose, the which he lacks.
Oh, blessed, secrets, all you unpublished virtues of the earth, spring with my tears. Be aidant and remediate in the good man's distress. Oh, seek for him.
News, madam. The British powers are marching hitherward.
'Tis known before. Our preparation stands in expectation of them. Oh, my dear father, it is thy business that I go about. No blown ambition doth our arms incite, but love, dear love, and our aged father's right. Oh, soon may I hear and see him.
But are my brother's powers set forth?
Aye, madam.
Himself in person there.
Madam, with much ado, your sister is the better soldier.
Lord Edmund spake not with your lord at home.
No, madam.
What might import my sister's letter to him?
I know not, lady.
Oh, it was great ignorance, Gloucester's eyes being out, to let him live. Where he arrives, he moves all hearts against us. Edmund, I think, is gone in pity of his misery to dispatch his knighted life. Moreover, to descry the strength of the enemy.
I must needs after him, madam, with my letter.
Our troops set forth tomorrow. Stay with us. The ways are dangerous.
I may not, madam. My lady charged my duty in this business.
Why should she write to Edmund? Might not you transport her purposes by word? Belike some things, I know not what. I'll love thee much. Let me unseal the letter.
Madam, I had rather...
I know your lady does not love her husband. I am sure of that. And at her late being here, she gave strange Iliads and most speaking looks to noble Edmund. I know you are of her bosom.
Aye, madam?
I speak in understanding. Yar, I know it. Therefore I do advise you, take this note. My lord is dead. Edmund and I have talked, and more convenient is he for my hand than for your lady's. You may gather more. If you do find him, pray you, give him this. Fare you well. If you do chance to hear of that blind traitor, preferment falls on him that cuts him off.
Would I could meet him, madam, I should show what party I do follow.
Fare thee well.
When shall I come to the top of that same hill?
You do climb up it now. Look how we labor.
Methinks the ground is even.
Oh, horrible steep! Hark, do you hear the sea?
No, truly.
Why, then your other senses grow imperfect by your eyes' anguish.
So may it be indeed. Methinks thy voice is better, and thou speakst in better phrase and matter than thou didst.
You are much deceived. In nothing am I changed but in my garments.
Methinks you're better spoken.
Come on, sir. Here's the place. Stand still. How fearful and dizzy 'tis to cast one's eyes so low. The crows and choughs that wing the midway air show scarce so gross as beetles. Halfway down hangs one that gathers samphire. Dreadful trade. Methinks he seems no bigger than his head. The fishermen that walk upon the beach appear like mice. The murmuring surge that on the unnumbered idle pebble chafes cannot be heard so high. I'll look no more, lest my brain turn in the deficient sight, topple down headlong.
Set me where you stand.
Give me your hand. You are now within a foot of the extreme verge.
Let go my hand. Here's another purse. In it, a jewel well worth a poor man's taking. Fairies and gods prosper it with thee. Do as I bid thee. Go thou further off, and let me hear thee going.
Now, sir, farewell.
With all my heart.
Why I do trifle thus with his despair is done to cure it.
Oh, you mighty gods! This world I do renounce, and in your sight shake patiently my great affliction off. If Edgar live, oh, bless him. Now, fellow, fare thee well!
alive or dead? Ho, you, sir, friend, hear you, sir, speak. Thus might he pass indeed. Yet he revives. What are you, sir?
Away, and let me die.
Hadst thou been aught but gossamer, feathers, air, thou'st shivered like an egg, but thou dost breathe, hast heavy substance, bleedest not, speakest, art sound. 10 masts at each make not the height which thou with perpendicularly fell. Thy life's a miracle. Speak yet again.
But have I fallen or no?
From the dread summit of this chalky bourne, do but look up high. The shrill-gorged lark so far cannot be seen or heard. Do but look up.
Alack, I have no eyes. His wretchedness deprived that benefit to end itself by death.
Give me your arm. Up so. How feels it? Feel your legs? You stand.
Too well, too well.
This is above all strangeness. Upon the crown of the cliff, what thing was that which parted from you?
A poor, unfortunate beggar.
As I stood here below, methought his eyes were 2 full moons. He had 1,000 noses. It was some fiend. Therefore, thou happy father, think that the clearest gods have preserved thee.
I do remember now. Henceforth, I'll bear affliction till it do cry out itself, enough, enough, and die. The thing you spoke of, I took it for a man. 'Twould often say, the fiend, he led me to that place.
Bear free and patient thoughts. But who comes here?
And a little tiny boy with a head. No, you cannot touch me for coining. I am the king himself.
Oh, thou side-piercing sight.
This fellow handles his bow like a crow keeper. Draw me a clothier's yard. Oh, look, a mouse. Peace, peace. A bit of toasted cheese will do it. There's my gauntlet. I'll prove it on a giant. Bring up the brown bills. Well flown bird. Speak the word.
Sweet marjoram.
Pass.
I know that voice.
A gunneral with a white beard. They flattered me like a dog. Told me I had the white hairs in my beard ere the black ones were there. To say I know to everything that I said. But when the rain came to wet me once, and the wind to make me chatter, when the thunder would not peace at my bidding, there I found them. There I smelt 'em out. Go to. They are not men of their words. They told me I was everything. 'Tis a lie. I am not ague-proof.
The trick of that voice I do well remember. It's not the king.
Aye, every inch a king.
Oh.
See, when I stare, how the subject quakes. I pardoned that man's life. What was thy cause? Adultery? Thou shalt not die. Die for adultery? No. The wren goes to it. The small gilded fly does lecher in my sight. Let copulation thrive. For Gloucester's bastard son was kinder to his father than my daughters. There's hell, the sulphurous pit, burning, scalding, stench, consumption. Fie, fie, fie. Pah! Give me an ounce of civet, good apothecary. Sweeten my imagination. There's money for thee.
Oh, let me kiss thy hand.
Let me wipe it first. Smells of mortality.
O ruined piece of nature, dost thou know me?
I remember thy eyes well enough. Come, read this challenge. Mark but the penning of it.
Were all thy letters suns, I could not see.
I would not take this from report. It is, and my heart breaks at it.
Read.
What, with the case of eyes?
Oh, are you with me now? No eyes in your head, no money in your purse. Yet you see how this world goes.
I see it feelingly.
What, art mad? Man may see how this world goes with no eyes. Look with thy ears. See how yon justice rails on yon simple thief. Hearken thy ear. Change places and handy-dandy, which is the justice? Which is the thief?
Aye, sir.
Thou rascal beetle, hold thy bloody hand. Why dost thou lash that whore? Strip thy own back. Thou hotly lust to use her in that kind for which thou whipst her. Through tattered garments small vices will appear. Robes and furred gowns hide all. Get thee glass eyes, that like a scurvy politician thou mayst seem to see the things thou dost not. No. Pull off my boots. Harder.
Oh, matter and impertinency mixed, reason and madness.
If thou wouldst weep my cause, take my eyes. I know thee well enough. Thy name is Gloucester.
Oh.
Thou must be patient. We came crying hither. Thou knowest the first time we smelt the air, we wail and cry. I will preach to thee, mark me. When we are born, we cry that we have come to this great stage of fools. This is a good block. 'Twere a delicate stratagem to shoe a troop of horse with felt. I'll put it in proof. When I have stolen upon these son-in-laws, then kill.
Hand upon him! Sir, your most dear daughter.
No rescue, I'm a prisoner. I'm even the fool of fortune. Use me well, you shall have ransom. Get me surgeons. I'm cut to the brains.
You shall have anything.
No seconds on myself. I will die bravely. Come. I am a king, masters. Know you that?
You are a royal one, and we obey you.
Then there's life in it. Come, and you should get it. You should get it by running.
A sight most pitiful in the meanest wretch, past speaking of in a king. Thou hast one daughter who redeems nature from the general curse.
Do you hear aught, sir, of a battle toward?
Most sure, near and on speedy foot.
I thank you, that's all.
Though the queen on special cause is here, her army has moved on.
I thank you.
Oh, you gentle gods, take my breath from me. Let not my worser spirits tempt me again to take my life before your time.
Well, pray you, Father.
Now, good sir, what are you?
A most poor man, made tame to fortune's blows. Come, give me your hand. I shall lead thee to some biding.
Hearty thanks.
A proclaimed prize. Most happy that eyeless head of thine was first framed flesh to raise my fortunes. Thou old unhappy traitor, briefly thyself remember. The sword is out that must destroy thee.
Now let thy friendly hand put strength enough to it.
Wherefore, bold peasant, darest thou support a published traitor?
Child, not let go, sir, without further occasion.
Let go, slave, or thou diest.
Good gentlemen, get your gate and let poor folk pass. Nay, come not near the old man. Keep out, chief all ye.
Out, dunghill.
Oh.
Slave, thou hast slain me. Villain, take my purse. If ever thou wilt thrive, bury my body and give the letters which thou find'st about me to Edmund, Earl of Gloucester. Seek him out upon the English party. Oh, untimely death. Death.
I know thee well enough. A serviceable villain, as duteous to the vices of thy mistress, as badness would desire.
What? Is he dead?
Sit you, father. Rest you. Let's see these pockets. The letters he speaks of may be my friends. Let our reciprocal vows be remembered. You have many opportunities to cut him off. Your wife, so I would say, affectionate servant Goneril. A plot upon her virtuous husband's life, and the exchange my brother. Here in the sands they all rake up the posts unsanctified of murderous lechers, and in the mature time with this ungracious paper strike the site of the death-practiced duke.
The king is mad. Better I were distract, so should my thoughts be severed from my griefs.
Give me your hand. Come, father. Far off, methinks I hear the beaten drum. Come, I'll bestow you with a friend.
O thou good Kent, how shall I live and work to match thy goodness? My life will be too short, and every measure fail me.
To be acknowledged, madam, is o'erpaid.
Then be it so, my good lord. How does the king?
Madam sleeps still.
O you kind gods, cure this great breach in his abused nature.
So please your majesty that we may wake the king. He hath slept long.
Be governed by your knowledge and proceed in the sway of your own will. Is he arrayed?
Aye, madam. In the heaviness of sleep, we put fresh garments on him.
Please, draw near. Louder, the music there.
Oh, my dear father, restoration, hang thy medicine on my lips, and let this kiss repair those violent harms that my two sisters have in thy reverence made.
Kind and dear princess.
Was this a face to be opposed against the jarring winds? Mine enemy's dog, though he had bit me, should have stood that night against my fire. Alack, alack, 'tis wonder that thy life and wits at once had not concluded all. He wakes. I'll speak to him.
Madam, do you. 'Tis fittest.
How does my royal lord? How fares your majesty?
You do me wrong to take me out of the grave. Thou art a soul in bliss. But I am bound upon a wheel of fire that my tears do scald like molten lead.
Sir, do you know me?
You are a spirit, I know. Where did you die?
Still far wide.
He's scarce awake. Let him alone a while.
Where have I been? Where am I? Huh? Fair daylight? Huh? I didn't die with pity to see another thus. I know not what to say. I will not swear that these are my hands. I felt a pinprick. Would I were assured of my condition.
Oh, look upon me, sir, and hold your hand in benediction over me. Oh, no, sir, you must not kneel.
Pray, do not mock me. I'm a very foolish, fond old man, 80 and upward, not an hour more nor less, sir. And to deal plainly, I fear I'm not in my perfect mind. Methinks I should know you, and know this man. But I'm doubtful, for I'm mainly ignorant of what place this is, and all the skill I have remembers not these garments, nor where I did lodge last night. Do not laugh at me, but as I am a man, I think this lady to be my child Cordelia.
Oh, and so I am.
Huh?
I am.
Be your tears wet? Yes, if faith. I pray you weep not. If you have poison for me, I will drink it. I know you do not love me, for your sisters have, as I remember, done me wrong. You have some cause, they have not.
No cause. No cause.
Am I in France?
In your own kingdom, sir.
Do not abuse me.
Be comforted, good madam. The great rage you see is killed in him. Trouble him no more, till further settling.
Wilt please your highness walk?
You must bear with me. Pray you. Forget and forgive. I am old and foolish.
Holds it true, sir, that the Duke of Cornwall was so slain?
Most certain, sir.
Who is now the conductor of his people?
As 'tis said, the bastard son of Gloucester. We must look about. The forces of the kingdom approach apace.
Aye, sir.